Hey, can you comment just while I got you on tape about just how moved you were to see how many kids were apologizing to each other and family members? Like, can you kind of get into some of the specifics you saw, you witnessed here?
Well, I didn't, you know, I didn't think it was going to be that emotional. You know, all of a sudden you have one student coming up and apologizing, and just so happens that the person she's apologizing to, because we are a small community, is right in this room, and she's tearing, and then and it goes on, and you have the sisters who no longer live together, and the family dynamic, I'm sorry, is quite different from the traditional family or the typical family. And just to see that, you know what, here I am, and I still love you, and please forgive me. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. And, you know, that those promises, okay, it's okay to say sorry, but let's make a promise, but make it attainable, something that is doable to you. And when you had that one boy who came up and he had said, you know, I'm having a hard time. You know, my mom, I'm constantly yelling at her. And you could see that he was constantly trying to swallow back either the tear or the vibration in his voice, because he was getting so emotional. And I don't think that there was one apology that didn't have a heartfelt emotion behind it. I mean, when the brother started saying to his sister, we used to hang out all the time together, and now we don't, and I'm sorry for that. And she didn't want to give the specifics, but she said, you know what, there's something else there. And he says, I know. But they knew it together, and that's all that mattered. And that, to me, it was a beautiful moment. And to think that, you know what, these kids probably, even though they live together or they take the school bus together, have they been given the time to really reflect on those things that they've done that have hurt somebody else? No. And this gave them the chance to do that. And that was, I mean, there wasn't a dry eye in here. Half of them were crying when they weren't even the ones up here. I don't think that one person here wasn't choked up. You know, you've got 24, well, you've got, how many kids were there? There were 6 teams, 12, plus us 2 adults, 14, 15 of us in here. And that's just, it was a beautiful moment. And it was very liberating to see that, especially as a teacher, because, you know, sometimes we get fixed on, you're always hearing, well, such and such has done this, and such has done that. You're not really seeing those beautiful moments. So it was good for me to see, and I just wish that there were more teachers in this room so they could have experienced what happened here, because it was really quite powerful.
And do you want to comment on, too, like bullying's a big issue, and it felt like we made some real big steps at some of the bullying that's going on here.
Yeah, there was big headway there. There was big headway, you know, especially, you know, you have that one student who, you know, it's obvious, and you picked up on it right away, and it's an obvious thing, and instead of, you know, turning the other cheek or trying to shut it down in a not in your face way, you tackled it, you hit it on the head, and you know, let's stop this. And I'm really hoping that.
And people apologized, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, they knew right away, and that was the first apology, was right to that girl. They knew that she was being bullied, and I think that as a small community, we may have benefited, and I don't know because I haven't seen your other workshops, but perhaps because we're a smaller community, we may have had a bigger benefit here, because not only we were apologizing to you or through you or setting up our apologies and our promises, they were occurring. And then, you know, you made that comment, wow, it is a small community. We made headway. Before that door closed today, when those students left and that door closed, there was a lot of headway. I think, look at all, I mean, if you want to call them reconciliations, you had the brother-sister team, the sister-sister team, the grade 7 to the grade 8.
The bullying.
The grade 8 to the grade 7 bullying. You have the peer bullying in the high school there, and how many? 3 on that one. I mean, that is 9 issues. It's pretty impressive.